In this episode of the 60-minute website challenge, we are going to build this website that you see right before you. Now, this design is gorgeous and it is perfect for a restaurant, a small business, a church, or any organization that wants to display their information in a way that is just absolutely gorgeous. So let's jump in and take a look at the design. So first we start off with the logo. Now, one of the best aspects of this design is the main impact of it is these gorgeous large images that are in the background. And what's really nice is I have a tint on it, so you don't have to hire a professional photographer if, say, you're going to use this for your restaurant to take a picture of the front of your restaurant. You can use maybe like an iPhone or an Android phone or whatever the nicest camera you have, or you could also use some stock photography. But right when your visitors visit your website, they'll immediately be impressed by the professionalism of your site. So we've got this logo here, and then right here we have our navigation section, and this is what's called a one-page design. So when someone clicks on any of these navigation items, it's going to scroll them down on the page to that section where that information is. So we've got this large headline area here and two buttons here that you can use for a call to action or to jump someone onto the page to find exactly what they're looking for. So let's continue scrolling down on this site. Here's our second section. Now the way it's structured is you have these rows that are just separate sections that you can use for anything that you want, but this is how I have it set up right now. So in the second section, we have this gorgeous About Us page where you can put just a little bit of information about you. When we continue scrolling down, for a restaurant example, you could put some information on some of your menu items here, or if it's, say, a church or some organization, you can put different information about maybe the services that you provide. And so that's this section here. Then I have a section here where you can maybe put an inspirational quote or anything like that you may want to add, or a testimonial that someone has left for you. Right here's a What's New section, and this is a section where you can have links to blog posts if you want a blog. The blog is also built in to this design, and your visitors can click on any of these and it'll jump them right into the blog. Right here we have our testimonials with pictures, and have you noticed in each of these sections there's a different background image, and it just has this really elegant way of scrolling through them. Now you don't have to have an image. In this section right here, you can see I just have a solid color. So then we have a section right here for staff if you want to highlight any of your team members. And then right here we have a section where there's a map and all your contact information, phone address, opening times, whatever you want can be featured here. And then here is our footer area where you can again reiterate the hours of your business. You can do whatever you want with this section. And one thing's nice, you see here you've got this sticky navigation menu where the navigation stays there no matter where you are on the page. And so like I said, if I click on any of these links, it's going to scroll me down to the page. So if I click on What's New, it just scrolled me right down to the What's New section. Now let's take a look at how this looks on a mobile device. This is a mobile first design, which means it's going to look good on every single device that anyone would view it on. So here's how it looks on an iPhone 6. You can see the navigation collapses a little bit, and here's a little way to expand that menu, and you can scroll down and everything just resizes perfectly depending on the display that your website's going to be viewed on. Here's the iPad Air 2. You can see the navigation expands out so you can see all the menu items. Now let's take a look at the blog. Right here where it says What's New, we can click on any of these links and it's going to jump us right on into the blog. And so here's another area where this background image can be whatever you want it to be. And here's some different navigation menu to take them to different areas of your website. Here's where you can put your blog post information, and then here on the left I've got a sidebar that will also show your information there. But we also have a frequently asked questions section here and a contact us page with a perfectly formatted form. Now, if anyone ever wants to get back to the home page, they can click on home or just click on the logo, and that will jump you right back into the home page. Now, if you are ready to take your website and your web presence to a new level in under 60 minutes, this video is for you. Keep watching, and I'm going to hold your hand through the entire process to make this happen for you. Now, before we get started, I wanted to explain to you why I created the 60-minute website challenge. And the first reason, and the most meaningful reason, is because I want to improve lives through having a professional web presence. So whether it be a personal website, maybe a resume or a career website to boost your personal brand, or whether it's a website for your business or a website for your nonprofit or for your church or whatever your community organization, whatever it is, my main and primary goal is to improve lives and to improve your life through giving you the information and the way and the method and the path in order to have a professional web presence that normally would cost thousands and thousands of dollars and be outside of the reach of most people. But I wanted to give this to you and be that catalyst for you through this process. And so that's the most meaningful reason. And the second thing is I wanted to make it incredibly easy. I've seen other tutorials out there and they are just not easy. I wanted to make it easy. I wanted to hold your hand through the process, make it fast and easy so that anyone could understand, no matter who you are, how non-technical you are, how computer illiterate, I don't like saying that phrase, but a lot of people say that of themselves. However non-technical someone is, I want to make it super easy for you. The third reason is I want to eliminate any excuses. I know for me, I make excuses sometimes in life for certain things why I don't get it done. And the reality is you just need to jump in and do it sometimes. Like with this video, I'm jumping in and doing it for you. And it may not be perfect, but it will never be it'll never get done if I always wait for it to be perfect. So I wanted to eliminate excuses for you as to why you don't have a website for your personal brand, for your business, for your nonprofit, for your church. I wanted to eliminate any excuses you might have and make it super easy and super fast, which brings me to the next reason why. I wanted to give people a chance to get massively better results when it comes to building a website for themselves. I've seen websites that people have tried to build for themselves through other tutorials, and the tutorial end result looks like it's going to be good, but once it's actually the person goes through the steps and they try to do it themselves, it looks like a disaster. And I've seen that all too many times, and that's for several reasons, but I want to make sure that you get massively better results so that at the end of the day, when you look at your website that you've created, you could be incredibly proud of it and the work that you did. Okay, so now let's take a look at my disclaimer. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and read this verbatim and explain what it means. It says, due to the nature of video, I cannot change anything in the video after it's published. Please visit my website for anything I may have left out. Now, I'm trying to be as thorough as possible, but there is a chance that there might be a little step along the way that you could use a little more elaboration on. I could be a little more elaborate with, or maybe there's a specific change that you would want to the site. You don't know how to do it, and you're looking to me for an answer, and I want to be that person that gets the answers to you. But due to the nature of video, I can't change the video. I can't like go in and re-edit the video or do anything like that. therefore, I have a dedicated page on my website that you can visit, and I will have all that information there. So as you're asking for some clarification on something, or you're asking for something maybe related to the site, like changing a font size or something like that, and you're asking me, I want to get those answers to you, and you're going to find them on the dedicated page on my website for this video, and you'll see a link for that down below in the notes if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're already on my website, you'll see how I have it set up down there just for you, because I want you to be successful, and I want to do whatever it takes to help you to be successful. So this process really involves only 4 easy steps, not 20 steps, not 30 steps, 4 simple and easy steps. Now, the first step that we're going to go through is we're going to order a domain name and website hosting. Now, you might already have a domain name, you might already have website hosting, but this video, that's the first thing that I'm going to cover. Domain name is your website address, and a hosting is where your website's going to live. And I'm going to explain that, how that all works together in the next slide. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to install something called WordPress, and I'll explain a little bit more about what WordPress is. Right now, you just need to know it powers over 26% of the websites on the internet. It's what everybody uses. Some of the biggest, most successful, most highly visited, and highly regarded websites, they're all powered by WordPress. And then the third is we're going to restore this done-for-you template. Now, the way I'm able to help you build a website in 60 minutes is because I've already done hours upon hours upon hours of work that you're going to be able to just restore as if I did that work already for you, so you can bypass all the tedious steps and all the difficult decisions and all the tweaking and working things out. I've made it easy, so I've spent hours and hours of my time so that I can save you hours and hours of your time. And the fourth thing is, the fourth step, is once the website's live, all you're going to have to do is change around some text and change around some images, and your site will be done and complete. So let's first talk about how it works. I want to give you just a couple minutes of talking about how websites work so that you can have a better understanding. And I've got this analogy that I've come up with. So a website domain name is your website address. Think of it in relationship to building a house, okay? So this whole analogy is going to be about building a house. And in that analogy, your domain name, your website address is like the address of your house. It's what you would give to someone so that they can find you. Now, the next step in this analogy is your web hosting account. And this would be like the foundation where you're going to build your house. Okay, so you've got your address. Now you need to lay a foundation. Your web hosting account is going to be that foundation that everything gets built upon. The third part is WordPress, and what this is the actual house you build on that foundation, the structure. That's what WordPress is. And then the fourth part of this analogy is my done-for-you template, and that is going to be the design and style of the house, the decor of the house. It's going to be what people see. It's what people ooh and ah over. Okay, so that's kind of my little analogy of how this whole website thing works. You've got your domain name, which is your address. You've got a web hosting account that is the foundation that everything gets built on. You've got WordPress, and that's the actual structure of the house. And then you have my template, which is the design and the style that you apply on that house. Okay, and that's actually accomplished through something called themes and plugins, but we'll get into that a little later in this video. So next, let's talk about the most crucial of these 4 items, and that is to have a good foundation. It is so crucial that you choose the right web host. It's about having a good foundation. So, for instance, when you're building a house, you need to have a good foundation, or that house is going to crumble. Anything could be thrown at that house, and it's just not going to stand. And that's why a good foundation is absolutely critical. So here's a few things that will help you identify a good web host so that you can have a good foundation. Number 1, speed. it's very important to note speed matters, and that's a differentiator from one web hosting provider to another, is how fast your website's going to load. Now, when you go to a website and it might take 10 seconds to just pull up, are you going to stick around? You're not. Now, a lot of the low-cost providers out there, they are slow. And so someone's going to go to your site, it's going to be slow, and they're never even going to see your site because they're going to go ahead and click off. So speed is very crucial. Speed matters. The second item here is security matters. Now, some web hosts, they don't even monitor anything. But then there's others that are proactively monitoring security of your site so that you don't have to. Now, it's a sad thing, but websites do get hacked into. It's just part of life, and you don't want that to be you. Okay, so the third item here is support matters. You want to go with a web host that is going to provide timely support. They're going to be available to you when you need them or you have a problem. Support is probably one of the most important items of having this good foundation with a good web hosting account. Now, I recommend to you to go with InMotion hosting. It's going to be the same cost to you as a lot of some of the other web hosting providers you may have heard of, but it is dramatically better than all of those. When you factor in those three things that I just talked about, which is speed, security, and support, they are top-notch in all of those. Now, to make this even a better deal for you with InMotion, first of all, it's only going to cost a few dollars per month. They're all going to cost a few dollars per month, and they are too. It's not going to cost you any more or any less than some of the other web hosts out there that you may be considering. But I've contacted them and said, hey, can you give my viewers of the 60-minute website challenge a discount? And they've agreed to give you a 38% discount. Now, this might go up depending on how things go in the future, but right now they're giving a 38% discount that you can get right now. Now, there's going to be a link below in the notes here on YouTube that you would click through to go ahead and sign up to get that discount. Okay. Now, to make it even better for you, when you click on my link down below to sign up for the hosting, I'm going to give you free access to a course that I sell on my website. It's called the WordPress Masters course, and it's a comprehensive course that I currently sell for $197. So you can go there and buy it for $197 if you want, but it's a much better deal to just go and sign up for a new hosting account with InMotion to get access to this course completely free to you. And it's essentially a video course that's going to cover every aspect of WordPress and having a web hosting account that you would need to have incredible success with your website. And I cover every base that you're going to want to know about search engine optimization, growing an email list. I cover all the administration aspects of having a WordPress website, security things to consider, speeding it up. I've got videos pretty much on anything that you would want to know. I have it there, but the best part about this course is it's constantly growing. So as I get suggestions from people that are in the course of what content they would like to see added, I go ahead and I add that content, and there's no additional charge to anyone that's purchased it. But this is an offer for you to get all of that at no cost to you, because you need a web hosting account anyway. Now you might say, but Adam, I already have a web hosting account, so do I really need to get another one? And I'll tell you, they make it, InMotion hosting makes it so easy for you to transfer your web from one web hosting account to them. All you have to do is go and sign up, contact their support, and they'll just transfer you out of where you are, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a better option for you, because especially if you're moving from one of these low-powered, crummy web hosts to step up. So they'll assist you in transferring from the old web host to them, and they do all that included in their packages. So anyways, but to take advantage of this discount, to take advantage of this course that I'm going to essentially be giving you for free, and your web hosting is going to cost way less than $197. It's almost a no-brainer. In order to get access to all that, you have to click on the link in the show notes below or one of the links on my website, and I'll show you that here in a moment, how to do that. But it's crucial that you do it through there. Now, the way you're going to redeem this offer of the free course is after you order the hosting, just send me a copy of your receipt, and then I'll contact them to make sure you ordered it through my link, and then I'll send you a voucher code to get access to this course. And I'm so happy to do that for you because I want you to just have all the tools that you need to be successful in this process of building a website for yourself. All right, so let's get started and order that web hosting service that will be the home of our website. Now, if you're watching this video on YouTube, there'll be a link below that you could click on that will take you over to InMotion Hosting. If you are watching this on my blog, there'll be an obvious button below, and but you can always go to my website at WPCrafter.com and then click on the recommended menu item right here, and that's the page that I'm at. Now, you're going to want to get to the hosting provider through one of the links on my website. That way they know it came from my website, and they're going to give you the discount that I've negotiated with them for you in order to just get up and get started with the least amount of money. So when you click on this link, it's going to take you right here, and you'll see my logo right there, which lets you know that you're at the right place, and it also confirms the current discount that I've arranged for you. So here are the 3 plans. You can click on any of these Order Now buttons. It's going to take you right over to the same page where you can choose the plan that you want. So on this page here, I'll explain what the differences are between these plans. There's 3 plans, and you can order them in any intervals of time. So for the lowest price plan, it's called the Launch Plan, and you can order a 12-month or a 24-month package. Now, the longer of a package that you purchase, the bigger discount you're going to end up getting. So now the difference between these 3 packages are how many websites that you can have on the account. So with the launch package, you can actually have 2 separate websites with 2 separate website names. That's going to probably cover most people. Now, if you need more websites that you want on the one account, you can go with the Power Plan, which is going to give you 6 separate websites and 6 separate domain names. But if you are going to have more than that, you can get the Pro Plan, which will give you essentially unlimited websites that you can host on the hosting package. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the Pro 12-month. But if you're just starting out, go ahead and get the Launch, and you can even get the 12-month. It's only going to average out to $5.59 per month. And on top of that, all these plans are going to include a domain name for you. So if you haven't registered your website name, it's going to be included. Now, typically that's an extra $15 to $20 charge elsewhere, but it's going to be included as well. So this is a really, really good deal. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the 12-month package of the Pro Plan, and then I'm going to click here on Continue. So it's going to take me to a page where I could say I want to order a new domain name, a new website name, or if I already have a website name, I can use that for this account. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of how to link a website name that you have registered like at GoDaddy or Namecheap or something like that with InMotion. However, I will say the support at InMotion is fantastic. So you could just put the website name in there, go ahead and click on Continue, and you can contact their support and they'll help you get everything linked together. But that's not what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and choose a brand new domain name. So right here you can enter in whatever domain name that you think you want, and it'll tell you if it's available or not. Now, I know which domain name I want. It's called showthedemo.com. and then I'm going to click on continue. I already know it's available because I already checked. So just give it a moment. It's checking to see if that domain name is available or if someone else has it registered to them. Now, right now it's saying the domain is available. If it wasn't, it would tell me, and then I would have to go and choose another domain name until I found one that was available that is what I would want. So anyways, it's just confirming my domain name, the plan that I want, and what it's going to cost me. We'll go ahead and click on continue. And it's going to take me to the last step where I'm going to make a few choices. So the first choice is whether you want the website server on the East Coast or the West Coast of the United States. So the East Coast is really good if you're going to have traffic from UK or different European countries. I'm going to go ahead and choose East Coast. You could just choose not sure. Nowadays, the internet is connected so fast that it is always good to have the server closer to where your traffic's going to be, but it's not as important as it was before in the past. So then right here, you've got to go ahead and fill out your billing information. I'm going to pause the video in a moment and do this, but I want to scroll down and show you these last few options. So this one right here is domain privacy. You can pay $10 a year. I'm not going to have that. And what domain privacy is whenever you register a website address, a domain name, someone could go into the domain name registry and see who owns what domain. It requires that you have current information in there. Now, if you want to have privacy so that no one knows that you own a particular domain name, you need to get domain privacy. If you like that privacy, you don't want someone to go in there and be able to see that you own that website address. So you can go either way with it. I'm not going to get it, but if you want to pay $10 and get that, that's totally fine. Now, right here it says this content management system auto installer. Now, when you set up your account, the InMotion can automatically install some of these applications for you, like WordPress or Joomla or Bold Grid. Okay, now I'm going to suggest you just choose no, because I want to walk you through in the next step how to install it, because I want to install it a certain way. So go ahead and just choose no on this, and we're going to go ahead and install everything manually. Okay, now right here, for payment information, just obviously drop your credit card information in there, click the I agree button, and then click on the purchase account button right there. Now I'm going to pause the video and enter my information in here and order my account right now. All right, I just completed filling out the order form. I'm on this order confirmation page, and it's just letting me know that someone's going to give me a call to have kind of an onboard welcome process with InMotion. So in about 30 minutes or less, I'll receive a telephone call from the number that I put in when I ordered the hosting account. And so I'm going to go ahead and pause this video again until after that call takes place. All right, so I just got my call from InMotion. I really like that they take that extra step for security and onboarding process to personally give me a call and welcome me to their hosting company. Now, I'm not sure if they do that for every account or it's a random process, but that's what happened for me right now. So I am going to jump over to my inbox and show you the emails that I've received from InMotion. Okay, here I am. Now I've got these 3 emails here. Now, the reason I got 3 instead of 2, if you ordered a new domain name, you're going to get 3 emails, because one of those emails you actually have to click on a link to verify your email address, and that's for the new domain name registration that you ordered. Okay, now if you didn't order a new domain name with your InMotion account, you're probably not going to get that email. You're just going to get a receipt and the welcome email to go ahead and set up your account. So I've got 3 emails, so I'm going to go through each one. The first one here is from Melbourne IT. That's who they're getting their domain names through. So all I need to do is click on this link right here, and let's see what happens. Okay. Yes, it's just giving me some information that the domain name is now registered, and they wanted to verify my email address. So I'm going to go back to my emails. I don't need that anymore, so I'm going to go back. And they just sent me an email to verify that I just verified my email address. Okay, this next email is my billing email, just letting me know what I paid. And then here's the one that we need to get to from InMotion Hosting that says welcome to InMotion. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down, and what you want to do is click on this big red button here that says to get started, set your password. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it's just opened a new tab in my browser, and I am going to get the opportunity to set up a password right now. So I will just skip ahead. All right, I just set my password, and now it accepted my password, and I can go ahead and click on this login link, which I'm going to do. All right, and as you can see, my account is all set up. I'm logged in to the admin panel where all the magic can happen next. All right, to install WordPress, you first need to log into the account management panel with InMotion. You can see I'm logged in there right now, and scroll down to right here where it says cPanel. So go ahead and click on cPanel. Now what it's going to do, it's going to open up in another tab, and we're going to be in the control panel that you can basically control everything related to your web hosting account in this one panel. So we've already gone ahead and it's opened up. Now this is actually a standard application called cPanel. Most web hosts have cPanel. They might have changed the way it looks. So for InMotion, you can see it's got the logo in the top left, but just about every web host uses cPanel except some of the really high-end customized solutions. Other than that, they're all pretty much using cPanel. So if you didn't opt to go forward with InMotion, you could still follow along. Now, once we're logged into InMotion, scroll down, and we're going to see this option down here that says top applications, and this is a tool called Softaculous. I have a problem with pronouncing that wrong. It's Softaculous, like miraculous, but it's Softaculous. And it makes installing these content management systems super, super easy. So all you have to do is scroll down and click right here where it says WordPress. Okay, and it's going to take us right here, and go ahead and click on this big blue install button. All right, now here's some choices that we need to make for installing WordPress. Okay, so the first one is the protocol, and what that is if you've got your website domain name, and that's if you want it to be www dot then the domain name, or just the straight up domain name. Now for reasons I'm not going to get into deep details on, you're going to want to change this to right here where it says www dot. Okay, so go ahead and choose that. Okay, there's a lot of technical reasons why you want to do this that I'm not going to want to get into right now, but just go ahead and choose that. Okay, now if your web hosting account has more than one domain name on it, you can see a list of all those domain names right here. Now, I only ordered the one domain, and I haven't connected any other domain names. So when I go to this drop-down list, I only have the one domain name, show the demo. So I'm going to choose that. Now, this is in directory, just leave that blank. Database name, you don't have to change this. You can leave it as it is. It's a little on the technical side, or you can give it a database name. It's very technical. I would just go ahead and skip it. And the site settings, we're just going to leave that default. We'll actually edit that once we're inside of WordPress. Okay, right here where it says admin account, we need to assign a username and a password. And now with WordPress, you're going to want a strong password, and you want to use a username that's not obvious, like admin or user or WordPress or something like that. So choose a username that is going to be a little more on the unique side. Now I'm going to fill that out in a moment. I just want to go through the remainder of the settings, okay? So right here you would put your email address, because there are administrative emails that WordPress has to send from time to time, and you're going to want to put your email address in here that you know you'll get those emails at. Okay, you can choose your language for the WordPress admin menu. WordPress is amazing in supporting all different languages. All right, and so what I want you to do is click on this little plus right here where it says Advanced Options, and it's going to reveal a set of options that you have available to you. Okay, so the first one is Disable Update Notifications. I think it's good to leave that unchecked because you want those update notifications. And then the next three kind of go together. Auto upgrade WordPress plugins, auto upgrade WordPress themes. Now, I'm going to recommend checking these three boxes, okay? I'm going to check it and I'm going to explain why. WordPress itself gets updated every few months. They add security improvements, they add features, they just make it all around better. And they do a really good job of making sure when they release an update, it doesn't break anything, okay? That's number one. And plugins and themes, those are updated regularly as well, adding features and making your site more secure and faster and things of that nature. So what happens is sometimes people will set up their website and then they'll never log into it again, and then it gets outdated and outdated and outdated. And who knows, maybe in 12 months a security vulnerability might be discovered that WordPress patches, but because you didn't install the update, your site is now vulnerable to have something malicious happen to it. And I don't want that to happen to you. And that's one of the best reasons of going with InMotion, because they have Softaculous, and we can enable it to automatically maintain your site for you. There's services that charge $50 a month just to make sure everything's updated. So right here, it's very easy to just have Softaculous do it for you. So go ahead and fill this out. I'm going to fill it out, and then I am going to rejoin you on this video. Okay, I just filled it out, and I realized I made one little mistake that I wanted to update you. If you filled it out and hit submit, this probably would have happened to you. There's a little box we need to check right here that says overwrite files. And what this is when you first set up your hosting account, they put a file in the directory that says the domain name hasn't been set up yet. And that needs to be wiped out before we can go ahead and put WordPress in. So you just got to check that little box. Sorry, I left that little detail out. Now scroll down and go ahead and click submit. Okay, I did click the install button, and you can see it's installing right now. It just takes maybe 20 seconds or less, and then you're presented with these two links right here. Here's the link to your website, and then here's the link to log into your WordPress site. So I'm going to go ahead and click on both. So this is what your WordPress website will most likely look like. It's just your default theme. And here is the login page, and I'm going to go ahead and log in right now. And I'm fully logged in. Now WordPress is completely installed, and you can see how fast and easy that was. Hey, I wanted to quickly just show you how to delete a WordPress install if you want to kind of wipe it out and start back from the beginning. And it's super easy. So log back into your cPanel and then scroll down. And we want to get back into where it says WordPress here. So just go ahead and click on that, and it takes us here. Now, in the prior step, we clicked on the install button to install it, but we're not going to do that. If you scroll all the way down, it has a section here that says current installations. And it's really simple to edit some of the settings that we placed for this installation. But what we can do is go right here and click on the big X, click on remove. And it already says remove all the files, the database, the user, all that kind of stuff. Just leave all that checked. Click on remove installation. Now it's going to give you this warning. Heed the warning. It basically says everything you're doing now is irreversible. So I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. And voila, in 1 minute, you've wiped out that installation, and now you can go back in and install WordPress all over again if you're in a learning process and you just want to start over. Wow, congratulations. You've already made it halfway through this process, and I told you it was going to be easy, right? And it only is going to get easier from here. Now we're going to get to the exciting part of taking that website, that done for you template. We're going to get it downloaded on your computer and then restored on your web hosting account. And then we're going to get into the fun parts of customizing it to make it exactly how you want it. So on YouTube, there's a section below the video where you can put, where I, the video creator, can put notes. And the first link in that is going to take you over to my website. And it's a page on my website that I set up specifically for this 60-minute website challenge. Now I'm going to need you to click on that link, go to my website to download the Done For You template resources file. You need to download that to your local machine, and that's the next step. So why don't you go ahead and click on that link right now. Okay, so I'm on my site right now. You should see something different than similar to this, but obviously it's going to be this video. It's going to be right here in this large video frame. Now you can actually watch this entire challenge right here on my website if you like. You see how the video is a bit larger, so it might be easier to see certain things. But when you scroll down just underneath it, there's this form here that says download Done For You template resources. So what I need you to do right now is to go here and put your name and email address and then click download, and you're going to be sent an email to the email address you give me, and in that email it's going to have some information for you, and it's going to have the link to download all the resources file. It's really simple, so I'm going to do it right now. Just put my name, put one of my emails, and then I'm going to click on this download button. So you see this little spinning action, and what that's going to do is it's going to take your email, it's going to make sure it's a valid email, and then it's going to send it off to you, and then it's going to reload the page. So here, let me pause this. So it's reloaded the page. Now don't, there isn't a message here that says success, it's on its way, but if you check your inbox right now, there will be an email from me to you. So let's go ahead and jump in my inbox right now and take a look at that email. Okay, I'm in my inbox right now, and I'm using Gmail. Now, if you've got lots and lots of emails, all you have to do is search your inbox for 60-minute website challenge, and it will pull my email that I just sent to you right here. And here it is. Here's your download for the 60-minute website challenge template resources. Now, all you have to do is go ahead and click into that email, and there's going to be a link right there that you can click on, and it's going to download this file to your computer. It's not a huge file, so it shouldn't take that long to download to your system. Now, if you're on a Mac computer, which I'm on, your web browser may automatically unzip this file. This is a zipped file, and it has several folders and files in it. Now, if you're on a Mac, it might unzip it for you. If you're on a PC, it'll probably just download the file, and then you're going to need to unzip the file. Now, I'm sorry, if you don't know how to unzip a file, all you have to do is go on YouTube and search how to unzip a file. But most people know how to unzip a file, and hopefully you do. So let me pull up the folder contents right now. So here is the folder contents that you're going to see after you unzip it. You're going to see, I might add some stuff in here, so this is what's in it right now. It might look a little different when you download it, but it's going to look very similar. So you're going to have two folders. One's called Restore File. The other one's going to be Image Resources. Like I said, I might add some to it. And then there's an instruction file. But if you go inside that Restore File folder, you double click on it, there's this long file name in this file right here. This is going to be our restore file that we're going to need in this next step in order to get the site on your web hosting account looking exactly like the one I showed you in the beginning of this video. So let's go ahead and start that process right now. So click back over into your WordPress installation, and what you want to do first is go to where it says plugins, and then there's an option here to add new. Please click on that. All right, and then right here on the right, it says search plugins. We're going to search for a plugin called All-in-One Migration. So all you have to do is type in All-in-One Migration. All right, and it's showing up right here. Go ahead and install that for me. Just click on the install button, and it installs pretty quick, and then click on activate plugin. So now we have this new option right here that says all-in-one WP migration. So go ahead here and click on the import option. And then we have this section here where we can drag and drop a file onto. So what I want you to do is that long file name right here, we want to drag and drop it into this area right here. So I'm going to show you how I would do it. I'm going to drag and drop it right there and let go. And if you've done this right, you need to drop it in the area where there's these dotted lines. You should see what you see right now. The screen should kind of gray a little bit, and then you'll see this box, and what it's doing is it's now uploading this file to your website. It's essentially importing it. Now, depending on the speed of your internet, it might take less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds. So for me, it looks like it's probably going to take about 30 seconds or so. We'll just wait for the process to end. Now, once this is done uploading, we're going to go ahead and restore this file. Okay, and then we'll have a few cleanup steps after that. So I'm at 50% right now, and we're getting there. Now, it's important to note that this process is intended for a brand new website. So if you try to add this to an already existing WordPress site, in this process, what it does is it's going to wipe everything out and restore the whole site as I've designed it for you. So all those hours and hours I put into designing it, you're getting all that right now for free, but anything that you've already done on the site is going to get wiped out. So that's why I showed you in the beginning me doing a fresh installation of WordPress, and we're going to restore this, and it's going to wipe everything out. So there's going to be some warnings in this process. So right here is that first warning. It says the import process will overwrite your database, media, plugins, and themes. Please ensure that you have a backup of your data before proceeding to the next step. So just go ahead and click on continue. And what this is going to do, it's literally wiping everything out and putting that exact template in for you. And this is going to save you a lot of time. Okay, that's the only way I'm able to make this a 60-minute website challenge versus a 10-hour website challenge, because who has 10 hours? I really wanted you to be able to do this during a typical lunch break at work or something like that. Once that import process is done, we get this message here. It says your data has been imported successfully. You need to perform 2 more steps. Don't worry about it. We're just going to click the close button here in a minute, and I'm going to walk you through those steps. Now, I wanted to share that if you didn't get new hosting with InMotion Hosting and you're using some real low-powered, crummy web host, you might have some issues in this restoration process, and that's usually caused if your web host is a crummy web host. Okay, so you might want to consider, if you run into an error, getting InMotion through the link to the 38% discount and the free course I'm giving you. Well, the course I'm giving you for free. It's not a free course. So that if you get some weird errors, it's usually because maybe you didn't unzip the file that you downloaded from my website. If you didn't unzip that and you just dragged and dropped it in, you're going to get an error message here as well. So just keep those 2 things in mind. So now what I'm going to do is click on this close button. And when you click on any of these links, it's going to log you out of the site, okay? And that's because when we restored it, it's using the username and password that I created for my site. So it's going to log us out. We need to log back in, and we're going to do some cleanup and change some things. So watch this. If you click on dashboard, it's going to take you here, and you have to log back in. Now that username and password that you set up just a little bit earlier, that's now gone because everything from that has been wiped out. So now you need to log in with the username and password I'm going to give you, but I'm going to show you how to change that to what you would want it to be. Okay, so the username is 60-minute website challenge without spaces. Okay, now the password is all lowercase, DFY at WPCrafter. So that's DFY, stands for done for you, the @ sign, and then WPCrafter. Just like that. And then I'm going to click on login, and I have all these password managers, so let me just say no and not now. So now I'm logged back in. Now I'm going to show you that now your site looks identical to the one I showed you in the beginning of this video. So if I go here on the site title and it says visit site, I'm going to open this up in a new tab and go to it. You're going to see it looks identical to your site. All right, here it is. Sorry, it looks identical to the site that I showed you in the beginning. So now everything's on your website hosting account. But we need to do some tidying up. I got to show you how to change some email addresses in the system. I got to show you how to change the username so it's what you want it to be. So the first thing I need you to do is change an email address in 2 locations, okay? So if I go here to settings and then general, right here's a section where you put the email address that WordPress is going to use to notify you of things, like if someone leaves a comment or if there's an update available, things like that. It's going to go to this email address here. That was under settings general. I need you to change that, please. And then while you're at it, if you want, you can change the time zone to your time zone. That's always kind of nice as well. And then scroll down and then click on Save Changes. So that's the first place I want you to change your email address. The second place I need you to change your email address is in the actual user account. So you would go to where it says Users, click on your profile right here. All right, now that's pulling up. We're going to scroll down just a little bit and we're going to see it right here under Contact Information. And it says email. I want you to go ahead and change that email to your email address. And then I want you to scroll down again, and then I want you to click on this update profile. So now all the notifications, everything, they're going to go to you and not to me. I tell you, this is important. I've had people skip this step and they have a contact form on their website, and all their contact form submissions, they come to me. This is like leads for them and money and all that, and I've notified them and they still don't change it. I don't know why, so let's just make sure we don't skip any of these crucial steps, okay? So now, let me look at my list. We want to change the username. So if I click on users right here and then all users, this is the username, okay? I want to change that because you might not want to log in as 60-minute website challenge for the rest of your life. You might want it to be your name. Now remember, I mentioned earlier, you don't want a username that's admin or something like that. You want like a good username. Maybe it's your first and last name bunched together or something like that. You want to use a good username. So right now I'm going to show you how to change that username. You would just go here to plugins and click on installed plugins. So now that you're here, you can scroll down, and I added a plugin, but I didn't activate it. It's called Username Changer. Now, when you activate this, this is going to be an easy way to change that username. The only other way of changing the username is it's a little technical, it's to go into the database and do it. This is just a lot easier. So go ahead and click on Activate. Okay, the plugin's now activated. And let's see, we can go to now where it says users, there's a new option that says username changer. So go ahead and click on that. And right here we need to choose in this drop down the username we want to change. And it's right here, 60-minute website challenge. Now when it's showing you the username, it shows this bracket and then the email address and then another bracket. That's just, if you had a lot of usernames in this installation, that's so you can kind of another way of identifying them. I don't want you to click on this to change it and then type your new username like this and then go bracket and type an email. That is going to cause problems. I had someone do that once. Don't do that. all you're doing is putting a new username. So this right here is just for reference. You're just putting a new username, that's all. So go ahead and enter your new username and then click on Save Changes. Now there's a chance that this might log you out and then you'll have to log right back in. Actually here, why not do this? I'll do it with you. Say I made my username WPCrafter and then I click on Save Changes. Let's see what happens. Okay, and it's showing that the username was changed to WPCrafter right here. Yes, click here to log back in. So when you make this change, it boots you out and you have to log back in. So I'm going to click that. So now it's WPCrafter, and then it's DFY at WPCrafter. And then here's my password managers again. Okay, so now if I go back to users and click on all users, now it's not going to say 60-minute website challenge anymore. It's going to say WP Crafter. Now what I want you to do is actually change the password for this user account. So you don't have to type DFY at WP Crafter anymore. You can use your password. Now please use a strong password. Use maybe a character in it or something like that to make it even stronger. So you just would go into all users, your profile, and then it's at the very bottom. So let's scroll down there. It's right here where it says account management and it says new password and then generate password. Now when you click on that, it's going to generate a password for you, but you don't have to use that password. WordPress does that so it can try to nudge people towards having strong security. And it has this security meter here as well, this password strength meter. But you can use whatever you want as a password. So don't use this. Don't do password. Anyways, but if you did that, you would have to then check this box that says confirm use of weak password, and then you'd scroll down and click on update profile. I think if I check that, yeah, then you can click that. Never use password as your password. You want to use something strong that is not easily guessable. And it's usually best to take a phrase and then take the spaces out. So if there's a phrase you like, say I like 60-minute website challenge, and you can make that your password without spaces, because it would be impossible for a hacker to hack into a user account with a password that's so long like that, and it will be easy for you to remember. So anyways, go ahead and set a new password. All right, so now what I need you to do is update something called permalinks. You don't worry, you don't have to ever worry about this setting other than right now. So you're going to hover over to where it says settings, and then it says permalinks. Click on that. Okay, and it's going to take you there, and it's already going to have this radio box on post name. You're just going to scroll down and click Save Changes. If you have my WordPress Masters course, there's a whole video on what the permalinks are. All you need to know is with the one we selected, our website links are going to look like this versus something crazy like question P equals and a number and all that. That's all you essentially really need to know about permalinks, and you only do this once. All right, so let me look at my list. Okay, let's go into plugins, and we're going to clean some things out. So the all-in-one migration, you don't need this anymore. You can go ahead and deactivate that plugin. You can also delete it. I need you to deactivate Jetpack right here where it says Jetpack. Go ahead and click on deactivate. And then right here, you can, we don't need a username changer. We used it already. You don't need it anymore, so you can deactivate that as well. Now these deleted plugins that we're not using, you can delete them. So I'm going to click a checkbox on username changer. Do not delete Jetpack. We don't need it. This comes by default when you install WordPress. We don't need the migration anymore, and we don't need AskMet. So now that I have those multiple ones checked, I can go to right here where it says bulk actions and then click on delete and then apply. And then it just wants me to confirm, so I'm going to click on yes. Okay, and now my plugins, my installed plugins are thinned down and cleaned out. So now I want you to go ahead and now activate Jetpack again. And I'm going to explain what Jetpack is, so don't worry about that. So when you activate Jetpack, you should have this green bar here. Now, Jetpack is a plugin for your website that adds some features to your website. And specifically for this one, it's going to add the contact form integration. And it's going to add the ability to have those testimonials on the home page. That's another thing that it's going to add for you. And there's a few other goodies that I'm going to show you. Now, oh, and one of the other things that's kind of big, it kind of gives you site stats. So you can see how much traffic's on your website, if they're getting there from Google, what are they typing in. You're going to see some really neat bits of information. And Jetpack adds a lot of different features, most of which we're not going to use, but we do need it for these few. Now, Jetpack needs to connect into a WordPress.com account. Don't worry, it's all free. But I need you right now to click on this green button and go and set up a WordPress.com account. Okay, so all you have to do is click on this button, and it doesn't open up in a new tab. It's just going to, in the same tab that you're in, it's going to take you over there. So we're just going to click on Connect to WordPress.com. And it's going to jump us over there already. Now, assuming you don't already have a WordPress.com account, that's totally fine. Go ahead and click right here where it says, please log into WordPress.com account. But then there's this question that says, need an account. So if you already have an account, you can see the area here to fill in an account credentials. Or you can click on Need an Account. So just click on that. It opens up in a new tab in your web browser. And there's just a little bit of information it wants. It wants an email address from you. Put a good email address in because you're going to need to, they're going to send you an email where you click on it and it verifies your email account. Then choose a username and then choose a password and then click on Create Account. Now, I'm not going to create an account right now. Just follow these steps. You'll get an email. Click on the link in the email to verify your new account with WordPress.com. There's no cost for it. So do that and then log in. Okay, so now we're going to go back in the browser and we're going to click on that big green button again. And then this time you're going to have an option to link your WordPress installation to your newly created WordPress.com account. So I'm just going to go back right here, and I'm going to go back right here in my web browser, and then go ahead and click on Connect to WordPress again. And this time I'm just going to log in, click on Approve, and just give it a moment, and it's going to link the WordPress site to the account, and then it's going to kick you back into WordPress, and then it's going to bring you to this screen. So this is where we can enable or disable the certain modules that Jetpack has to offer. Now, Jetpack on its own is full of features, but we don't need all of them for this site. We only need a few. So what I'm going to do is when you get here, just scroll down and it says see other 28 Jetpack features. These are their main features, but I just find it easier to click right here where it says see the other 28 Jetpack features. It might have a higher number for you because they're adding features every now and then. So go ahead and click on that button, and this is where we're going to enable or disable some of these features. So you can see as I hover over, it says activate, or if it's already in blue when I hover over, it says deactivate. So the main ones we want to make sure are active is the contact form, the custom content types right here. And let's see, there was also a security one I want for you. Monitor, this is really cool. If your website ever goes down, this will actually make it so you'll get an email notification. And then when it comes back up, you'll get another email notification so you can kind of keep track of your web hosts and how good they're doing. Right here, this is what I wanted. Protect. I wanted that for you. That's going to add some security functions. And then, I think that was the main ones that I wanted. Let me just give it a quick scan back up. Yep, that's what I wanted. So just make sure, I'm sure when you activate it, it's already going to have what I wanted it to have active by default. And so you should see this testimonials option here, and that's what we wanted to make sure that we had. So, all right, let's get to customizing this site. So go to here and let's view the front end of the site. I'm going to open this in a new tab so I can tab back and forth. And let me close out some of these other ones. Okay, so now we just need to change text, change some styles, and change some images to make this look exactly how you want it to look. So what we're going to do is we're going to make changes in the back end of WordPress right here, and then we will click on refresh on the front end here. So I'm going to basically show you how to change everything, change the images, the colors, the text, and everything. I'm going to show you how to change all of that so that you can make this site to look exactly how you want it to look for you. All right, so the best next step is to show you the structure of the site and how that works, and then go into changing how to change the logo, the menus, and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and jump back into WordPress. Let's click on the dashboard. But what we really want to get to is this section here called Pages. Now, in WordPress, a page is timeless content. It's something that it doesn't have a date attached to it. It's not timely information. It's just more your anchor pages of your website. Now, a post is different. A post is what you would use for posting what's called a blog post, and that might be an upcoming event that's happening or some kind of timely information. That's going to be your blog post. So what this site's mostly relying on is pages. So let's take a look at the pages now. So this is what you should see right now under pages is a series of pages that have been created, and you can see them here. Now these pages are actually the rows that you would see here on the home page. So this bit of text right here is a separate page. So if I click on pages, it's right here where it says home. Now this section right here, the About Us section, is a different page. It's this About Us page that you find right here. And so you can see the title here is going to correspond with the title here of the individual page or post. So right here, so where it says What's Brewing, I could go here to the page that says What's Brewing. And it's going to pull up, and I can change the title right here to whatever I want. So I can say What's Happening. Like that. Click on Update, and then it's going to update that title. Now here on the front end, I can refresh, and this is going to change to What's Happening. So I've already clicked back and clicked on refresh. You can see the menu navigation automatically changes to what that new page title is. And if I scroll down, you can see, oops, I always pass it right here. You can see that it changed as well to What's Happening. So that's just the page title. Now some of these rows, the actual content in it, right here where you see filtered coffees, espressos, and concoctions, I'm going to show you how to change that. So if I go back to pages and I scroll down here to now what I changed to What's Happening, you see these 3 pages underneath it. You can tell they're sub pages because they have this little hyphen. So this is the parent and these 3 are the children. And these are what makes up the 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. So right here, I can click into one of them. This is concoctions right here. I'm going to click in it, and you can see here's the text that makes up the text right here. So I can easily go in there and change any of that text to what I wanted it to be. So for instance, if you're a service-based business, this could be our services. And then right here, it could say the 3 main services that you offer, and then a little bit of information on each of those 3 services. And so that's how that is generated. So let's jump back up here to the home page. And I'm going to go back here in the back end and click back on pages. Now let's click on that home page. And let's see what the content it has. Now when you're using WordPress and you're in a page or a post, you have this little area here that says visual in text. Some sections, like the page where, like this area here that we're editing right now, it might be a little easier to edit in the text view. So the visual, it's all kind of a what you see is what you get, but it can't show you the buttons. Now if you click on text, you actually see the text, but you also see little snippets of code, but it's real easy to identify what we want to change. So for instance, this section here, it has these buttons, and it's going to be a little easier to edit them when we're in this text area. So right here we see a section right there. This is actually the code for our buttons. Right here is the link to that the first button takes you, and here's the text on the first button. Right here is the link for the second button, and then the text to the second button. Okay, and these links can take you to anywhere. So for instance, on the front end, you have this menu, and when you click on it, it scrolls you down to that section of the page. So if you wanted someone to click on this button and say on this what's new, say we wanted it to scroll the person to say the Our Staff page. Right now, it doesn't do that. Right now, it takes you to the what's new. So what you would do is you need to get the link that would scroll them down to the Our Staff. So you can just right click, and then you could choose copy link. You can go here, and so we're going to edit this first link, the first button. So I'm going to change where it takes them, and I'm going to paste what was in my clipboard. And let's just change this from what's new to Our Staff. Now I'm holding the shift key to put it all in caps so the buttons retain their style. So now I'm going to click on update, and then I'm going to go to the front end and do a refresh, and you're going to see this change from what's new to Our Staff. And you're going to see when we click on it, it takes them down to Our Staff. Oops, let me scroll up to the top. So now it says Our Staff, and when you click on it, it will take you down to Our Staff, and that's the section right there. So that's how easy it is to change anything on this page. So let's go here back to the front end. You can see that different font color this font color here that we're implementing. That is the text that's in between this little bit of code, the bracket EM. So that's how you can easily change anything that is on this site. Now I know it might seem just a little technical because you got to go to the text tab and you've got to be able to look at it and say, where do I change the button link and all that? But that's just one of the little caveats is web development. But it's really easy if you just follow what I did. It's really easy to make this look the way you want it and to change these buttons to work exactly the way that you want it. So let's take a look at some other things. So the About Us page is really simple. I'm going to click back on all pages. I'm going to click on About Us, and you can see it's just some basic text. You see how it's basic text? Let me go to the visual tag, and there it is like that. So it's just some basic text. Let's scroll down. We talked about the what's happening. The way that works is you have a parent page and then you have children pages. So right here, the parent page, and these are the children pages. In the children pages, if we just click on it, I'll show you how to make a page a child. You right here would just, when you create a new page, you would choose what the parent is. And so that would automatically make this page a child. And then here's the text for that area. Let's look at this on creativity. Let's look at that page to see how we can change that. So I'm going to go back to all pages, and I'm going to scroll down to where it says on creativity, and you'll definitely want to change that page title. And you can see here it is right here. So you can type in your new quote, and right here you can change the credit to whoever you wanted to attribute it to. Okay, so that's the on creativity section. What's new? This kind of automatically gets generated based upon blog posts, and I'll show you that in a minute. So let's go back and just take a look at it in the back end. Let's scroll down. Here's what's new, and it says it's the post page. So when I click in it, it's not going to show any information. See, there's no box to edit any text at all. Let's scroll down to the happy customers. Now this is pulling in testimonials. So if I go back to pages, and then we look at happy customers, what you see is there isn't anything in here. This page is specifically set up for testimonials, and you can see that right here under template. It says testimonials. And so the way we change these two sections of testimonials, you click right here where it says testimonials on the left. It's a separate menu item, and we have the two testimonials here. So let's click into one. So with this one, there's a little tiny bit of code in the title, and that's because we wanted it to be, this is the title right here, so we wanted to have the name and then kind of like the role or whatever of this person in this different style. So you can see right there, Kit Kat, and then we have this little bit of code. So when you're changing this, you can just change the name and change the title or whatever. Right there. Here's the text of the testimonial, and then here's the little image. It's right here. So if you wanted a different image, I can click on Remove Featured Image. Now there'll be no image with it, and then I could click Set Featured Image, and I could choose a different image, or I can just drag and drop my own image in here. So say I wanted it to be this image here, I can click on Set Featured Image. I can click on Update, and then now when I refresh the front end, it will be a different picture. Right there, we have this different picture right there. So that's how you would edit this testimonial section right here. So let's take a look at how to edit the staff section. Now this doesn't have to be used for staff. It's really just like a grid with these three columns right here, so you could use this as well for services or staff or whatever makes sense to display in three columns like this. So if it was like a say a church has different ministry groups. This could be youth, married, and singles or something like that. So there's lots of different things you can do with this format. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So let's go back to pages. And we're looking for the Our Staff page. And you can see it's got a similar setup to how the What's Happening page did. You have this parent, and then you have these child pages. So now let me click into one of the child pages, this Admiral Fluffy, and as you can see on the front end, it's this guy right here. It's going to be the same thing, a featured image. This is the title of the section right here, and this is just a little bit of text that's in it. So we've got our title, we've got the little bit of text, and then when you scroll down, you've got that featured image, and that's how this is put together. It's pretty simple. Now this section here isn't as simple, and that is the whole getting this image back here of a map. This is actually an image. It's not dynamically pulling this from Google Maps. What it is pulling up the address in Google Maps in your web browser and then doing a screen capture of it, like a screenshot, and just cutting everything out so it's just the map. Let me show you how I did that. So if I go back here, let me go back to all pages, and it's this section here called Find Us. Now I used a little bit of code to remove the Find Us title here because it's pretty obvious. So you see how you have the title showing there, and right here I don't have the title. I have a little code added to remove that. But let's take a look at how this section here is generated. I'm going to click on Find Us right here. All right, and that's pulling up. And here is the info that appears in this little right section right here. Now this is another one of those where it's going to be easier to keep in order to keep the exact formatting, to click on the text tab and start editing information. And it's pretty simple. So this is where it actually says the word phone right there. And then there's a little bit of code right here that shows that little image of a phone. I kind of like how that is. So all you'd want to change here is the actual phone number. And so right here, you would just want to change these 4 lines to put your address. And then right here, if you wanted to have your opening hours, you could put that here. Instead of times, let's just change that to hours. Okay, however you want to word it. And then right here, there's a link to a contact form. And then there's a link to the Facebook page. However, it looks like there isn't really a link to the Facebook page, so I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So essentially, this right here is the code to have a little bit of text and to have a link. So I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to copy it into my clipboard by hitting Command C or Control C. I'm going to get rid of this Plymouth, and I'm going to highlight it and then hit the backspace to delete it, and then I'm going to paste. So I did a Control or Command V. And so here's Facebook. So I would say right here, Facebook page. And then this is the link to your Facebook page right here. So I don't have one for this site. I'm just going to put Facebook.com like that. And so that's how you would change this text. Now that background, it's essentially just this featured image that you see right here. That's all it is. So let me click on it to show you how it's set up. So it's just an image in the gallery here. So just like in these other sections up here, we have these background images like that. That's all this is just a background image. Okay, so it's just a background image, and you can see these are the dimensions I have it set to is 1400 by 892. It doesn't have to be that exact, but you do want it to be wide, of like a 1400 pixels or something like that. So let me get out of there. Let me update this page. Now, as I'm explaining this to you, I just realized I haven't been explaining how to change these images. You might have picked up on it. It's actually really simple. Let me go back here to click on all pages, and let me first click on the home page. So if I click on home page right here, this is actually what I think is the most powerful aspect of this design, is these big images that are in the background that you're presenting limited text in a beautiful way because of these large background images. So I'm back on the home page here. I should have said this in the beginning. That background image is essentially just your featured image set here. So you can see this is the featured image in the back. You can see right here it's based off this. You can see how easy it is to change. Now what's nice is when you change that background image, it changes the whole feel of the site. So say I wanted something more office-y. Here's a picture of some office chairs. I can click on this, and then I can click on the set featured image. So now I've changed it to be this like office look. So if I click on update, and then I go to the front end, and then I do a refresh, this image of a business entrance is going to change. So let's click on refresh. And so let me scroll back to the top. You can see now I've got this office background image there. And so, sorry I skipped that when I was explaining how this is all set up. These images are all just the featured images for those pages. And I just was showing you all the different pages. And this one right here, Happy Customers, I didn't have an image in the background. I just have this solid color. So, and you can see, I remember I updated the page to say opening hours, and I changed the Facebook to actually have a link to your Facebook page. And so that's it right there. Now this section here is just the footer, and it's in a section called widgets in the back end. So if I went to appearance and then widgets, you're going to see these widget areas. So there's 3 footer areas. So here's your footer areas, 1, 2, 3. So let's take a look at that. Footer widget area right here. And then if you click this little icon here, it like expands the widget that is in that area. And this is it here. And I can click on that and expand it again. And you can see where it says about us and a little bit about it. And it corresponds with the title and the content of it. Let me go to this second footer widget. And this is a custom menu called a site map. And I'll show you how to change that. And then the third one, if I expand it and then expand this, you can see it's just the contact info. So you can change the title to your business address right here, your phone number, and you can put your hours right there. And so that's how this widget here is all put together. So far I've shown you how to make these page sections show whatever you want. With the image, the text, the footer, all of that. Now I'm going to show you how to arrange these sections. So you notice they're in an order. So this one is your home page, then your about page. I'm going to show you how to change this order. I'm going to show you how to change this logo. And then after that, I'm going to show you how this menu is generated. Now WordPress has something called the customizer, and what this is it's a way of modifying some of the styles of the site. Now if you've noticed right here it says customize, that's going to get you in there. But if you're back here, what you would do is you would go under appearance to where it says customize. So notice when you do that, it's going to reload the front end of the website here, and then you have this settings panel here on the left. So one of the things we want to do is kind of just go in order and start changing some things. So the first option right here when we click on it is the site title. You're going to want to make this maybe the name of your business or whatever keywords that you might want your website to be known for. You could put that in there. But this is the section we were initially going after, and that's how to change this logo. All you would have to do is click on Change Logo. Then you would drag and drop your new logo here. You would click on it and then click on Set as Logo. And then you will see it dynamically appear here. Now, this site, your logo is going to appear on top of an image like you see here with a tint on it. So it's better to have a logo with not bright light colors. Like this logo is all white. So if you have a logo version that's all white, it's going to look great. Now, typically when I have a logo designed and when a professional designer designs a logo, they give you the logo in several formats. They give it to you in color, in all black or all white. So in this example, you'd probably want to use the all white version of that logo. Okay. So, but if you don't have a logo, you don't have to have one. You can just have it be text instead of a logo. In that case, you would click on this box here. We would click on Remove Logo, and it's just going to use the text that you saw here in site title. So, business name, whatever. So this is for you if you don't have a logo. Let's see if it shows your tagline. It also shows your tagline right there. Just like that. So if you don't have a logo, you'll be fine doing it this way. But I'm not going to. Let me just go and restore my logo. So I unchecked that box. I'm going to click on Add Logo. I'm going to click back on my logo and then set it as the logo. So now to get back to that panel with all the settings, just click this arrow. Okay, and so here's where you can change the background color. This is more going to be on your blog post pages than this. Right here, your header image. This is going to be when you're on pages, you're going to see this. You don't see the header image here. Background image, we're not using that. Menus. So let's go ahead and click on primary menu. Now this menu right here is only shown when you're on a page other than the home page. This what you're seeing is a one-page type website, but you can have other pages, but it's one page, meaning you have this navigation, and when you click on it, it takes you to the different sections of your page. So I'll show you a little bit more of that in a moment. Okay, widgets, I showed you the widgets with your footer areas. But what I was really trying to get at is right here where it says theme options. So the way the theme is, these sections are all referred to as panels. So you've got this right here, you've got panel 1, you got panel 2, see how it now says panel 3? You can rearrange these all that you want. So for instance, if I clicked into panel 1, we can see it's currently set to About Us, and you can see right here on the left, I can choose it to be a different section. So if I wanted it to be Our Staff, I can click right there and change it to Our Staff, and you see it automatically changes to Our Staff. I'm going to put that back to the About Us. Now, if you have a section where you didn't set a background image, you can change the color right here. So if I scroll down, you can see the Happy Customers, which is panel 5. Let me jump into panel 5. And you can see that's it right there. Let's see what happens when we play around with the color. Right now it's on the default color, but I suppose I can change it to be whatever I wanted. Now, you would want to choose a color that looks good with white text on it. So maybe something a little dark. I actually kind of like that. That kind of fits. That kind of fits with the feel of the website. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. All right, and then go back. So that's these different panels and what you can do with them. Now let's see, in this demo, if I scroll down, I'm using 7 of the panels. So if I click on panel 7, you should see it show this Find Us. Now let me go back. There's an 8th panel that you can add if you wanted. You don't have to use all these panels. You can choose the order of the panels that you want, and if it's only 2 or 3, that's totally fine. All right, now this menu here is dynamically generated based upon the panels you select, and based upon the name of the title of those pages. So for instance, at the very bottom, the 7th panel, we've got this Find Us page. If we scroll down, it's right here. If I wanted to get rid of that, I could go back to panel, sorry, that's panel 7. I can change this to Select, which means no panel, and then I can go back. Now you see that Find Us section isn't there anymore. So this menu is being dynamically generated for you, which is really cool because that's one less thing that you have to do. And if you scroll down, you'll see that Find Us is now gone. Now, whenever you make changes, all you have to do, your changes aren't live until you click on Save and Publish. So why not? I'm going to click on Save and Publish. I'm going to go to the front end. I'm going to go to the front end and then do a refresh. And here it is. You can see that Find Us is gone, and when I scroll down, you'll see that it is gone as well. All right, so we have some other pages here, and let's take a quick look at those. I'm going to scroll down. We've got the blog, we've got the frequently asked questions, and the Contact Us. So let me scroll up and just show you how this blog works. Now the blog posts are going to automatically be pulled and shown in this section here, this What's New. And you can change that, it's just a page title. And it's automatically going to maintain this, so if I added a new one, you're going to see the oldest one of these 3 bumped off and then the new one added. So let's click into this one right here, join our customer loyalty program. So this is essentially just a post, a WordPress post. Now if I went into the back end here, let me get out of the customizer by clicking on this X. And then I'm going to click on posts, which you see right here. And then you're going to see a list of the posts, and this is it right here, join our customer loyalty program. And essentially all this is right here is this is the title of our post, and this right here is the content of our post. Title of our post and the content of the post. And there's special post types if you wanted to just show a nice large image or maybe a video or something like that. You can choose the different format that the content is. So you've got this right here. Couldn't be easier to add new posts and add content to them. Now on all the pages right here in posts, we have this right here off to the left is a sidebar widget, and this one right here is showing our hours and information, and that's in the widgets area, and I'll show you that again. And it shows a nice little map that you can show there as well. Now this is going to show our social sharing icons. Let me show you how to actually set those and show those. Let's see, that's going to be under Jetpack settings. Let's go there. And then it's going to be under social, I always say that wrong, social sharing. Let's see, where was it? Actually, it's not. It's actually in the widget area itself. So let's go back to appearance, and then let's go to widgets. And here's our sidebar, and this is the social media icons right here. You can use this little arrow there, and you can put links to your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Pinterest, and all these other networks. And then also right here, I'm going to expand that. This is where we got our hours and information, our address, and then the option to show a map. If you didn't want to show a map, you would uncheck it. So for instance, down here, I'm not showing a map, but here I'm here I'm showing the same information, but I'm showing a map. You could just check on this checkbox here and put your information in. So that's how we are generating all of this here on the for this WordPress post. Now, actually, you can change this image here in the background by setting a featured image of the post. Let me get back into that post by clicking on posts, and then I'm going to click back into it. And when you scroll down, actually, if you don't specify a featured image, it's just going to show the one we selected in the customizer for the background header. And that's why it's showing that. But I believe if I click on blog here, it will, like for instance on this blog post here, the grand opening event, I specified a featured image, and that's why you see a different image there. So if I go back to all posts and I click on grand opening event, you'll see right here I set a featured image, and then when you look here, you can see that featured image is shown there. This is actually a really cool way of really showcasing you and your content. So that's how that's done. So anyways, lastly, little tidying up the content. When you're looking at a post, it shows you the post date and then the author of the post. Right now it's set to 60-minute website challenge. We'll probably want to change that, and this is how you do that. That's actually tied to the username. So if I go back here to users and then your profile, it's going to show this right here when I scroll down. This section right here, it says display name publicly as. And this is where you're going to want to change this nickname, and then whatever you change it to, you're going to want to select it in the drop down. So if I just called it business name, and then I go to this drop down and I choose business name. So you could have it be your name, you could have it be your business name, whatever you wanted, and then change it in this drop down, and then scroll down and click on update profile. Now, when I'm here and I click on the refresh, we're going to see this change. Click on refresh, and now it says business name. So that's how you can keep it tied to you and your business. So anyways, that is it for this 60-minute website challenge. I'm sure I actually went a little over 60 minutes. And like I said in the beginning, head on over to my website and ask any questions for any more elaborate explanations. Ask them over there. That's where you're going to find the answers that you might want or need. But you can just see that this website looks gorgeous. It looks amazing. And you can literally spend an hour. Well, it took about maybe 40 minutes to get it all set up, the hosting account, it all restored, but then spend about maybe 20 or 30 minutes putting in your content. Let me show you actually before I end the video where I got these images. I used a free stock image site called Pexels. Let me go there now. Here it is. It's called Pexels.com, P-E-X-E-L-S. And this is where I actually got all these background images. So you can go here and get any background image you want. Everything is free. So let me just, for instance, click on business here for popular searches. And it's going to pull up business images or images that have been tagged with business. And you can click on any of these images and download it to your computer. So if I wanted, say, this one right here, it says free download. Right when you hover over this down arrow, it shows the different sizes. So you can just choose large and then click download and see it just downloaded to my site. I'm sorry, to my computer. And then I'm going to click on pages. And for instance, I'm going to click into the About Us page. Why not change that? So currently we have these a bunch of feet. So I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to click on Remove Featured Image. Then I'm going to click on Set Featured Image. And then I'm going to drag and drop that image over really quick. Let's see. All right, it's uploading. It should just take a moment. And then I'm going to set it as the featured image, and then I'm going to update my page. Okay, set featured image, update. Okay, and then I'm going to click here into the front end, and let's do a refresh of the page. It's refreshed, and so now when you scroll down, you have this more businessy look with the notepad and the computer and all of that. So I got all these images from Pexels.com, and it's all free. And you don't have to give a link or an attribution or anything like that. They're free. You can use them however you want. So anyways, thank you for watching this episode of the 60-minute website challenge. Questions that you may have, send them to me over on my website, and I'm so glad that you made it to the end of this video. Yes, you made it to the end of the video, which must mean that it brought value to you. So can you go ahead and click on the thumbs up down below? That'll help me out. And if you want more videos like this, be sure to click on the subscribe button right down below me. Now, if you want to find me on the internet, I've got a special Facebook group that I set up for people just like you that want answers to their WordPress website. And that's where you can find me, interact with me, and ask me questions. So go ahead and click on the blue button down below to join that special Facebook group. Now, I never want you to leave empty-handed, so I've created a free video course for you called the 3 Steps to WordPress Success. In this video course, you're going to really learn how to make your website shine, get the results that you want, and have it really stand out from the crowd. So to access that free video course, go ahead and click on the link over here on the right. You can also find me at WPCrafter.com. Make sure you check out my 60-minute website challenges. Those are very popular, and you can find those on the website as well. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I make these videos just for you, and I hope you watch the next one.